Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Amar, helping you to be free and live free. In this video, I'll be talking to you about being a highly sensitive man. So what I'll be sharing with you is why you are sensitive, how this has potentially impacted your life, some of the difficulties you may have, and how it can actually help you to be happier and more fulfilled in some of the most important areas of your life. So most men and people in general believe that being sensitive is a weakness, that you're soft. We hear these phrases all the time. You're too soft. Why are you so sensitive? Stop being so sensitive. And it leads us to believe that this is something negative. But I want to share with you how it's actually a gift. And if you can nurture it and hone it, it will add so much to your life. So society on a whole doesn't really teach us how to be healthy men. On the whole, for sensitive guys, this is even more challenging. Women, on the other hand, sensitivity and feeling is considered a more positive thing, and they're not judged for being that way. If you wonder why you are so sensitive, it's because of your nervous system. It's wired up differently. It's just attuned to a heightened sensitivity. So just like the colour of your hair, you cannot ever change it. So what you are likely to experience due to a heightened sensitivity is all of your senses are heightened, and this can be overwhelming. You experience feelings more deeply, emotions, other people's emotions, energies. Any sensation is felt much more deeply, and that can be difficult for the sensitive person to handle and live in the world at the same time. This is where the true difficulty comes from. When you're able to manage the stimulus and the arousal, that's where you really step into your power as a more sensitive person. So now I just want to draw your attention to growing up. As a kid, as a young boy, being sensitive. And I draw on my own experience for this. So as a sensitive kid, when we grow up, we reach a certain age, we maybe go to school, and we see other kids doing things relatively easily, things that cause us to become overwhelmed, but everybody else is doing it fine. So what it can lead the sensitive child to believe is that there's something wrong with them, because before the age of about 10, we don't really understand that we may be more sensitive than others. We just don't have the capacity to think like that. We believe everybody else's experience must be the same as ours. So if we cannot perform in certain areas as they can, then that must mean there's something wrong with us. We don't understand that we are being overwhelmed by all these feelings and sensations. And a lot of self-esteem issues in sensitive people, I believe, are born from this. Okay, as we grow up and we go into our teenage years as men, as guys, as boys, we generally have an idea that we are a little bit different from others, usually unconsciously. And when we sense this, oftentimes what boys do is that they'll create rigid boundaries, okay, or maybe take on a persona that stops people getting too close to them, because they feel kind of pain when they are overwhelmed. These rigid boundaries help them feel protected, but there's a price to pay because it also isolates them. It stops them living as fully and being there for communication and connection with other people, because it's like a balancing act. On one hand, I need to manage how much I feel, and on the other hand, I want to have relationships and live life. So this becomes a balancing act, and usually it doesn't work very well. because most young boys will form rigid boundaries, then swing to the opposite extreme where the boundaries are non-existent and they get too close to people, and that leaves them open to kind of mistreatment. Okay, so being healthy is having healthy boundaries, which is something that I'll probably talk about in another video. So that's usually what happens to sensitive boys. And once they go into adulthood, they'll usually keep these dysfunctional boundaries, which are the only way they know of keeping themselves safe, of not being overwhelmed by feeling. So now I want to draw your attention to a very important area of most people's lives, and that's dating and romance for the sensitive guy. Now, most guys feel a sense of arousal when they see someone they're attracted to. Okay, it's a natural. Now, the sensitive guy, when he sees a girl he's attracted to, that arousal can almost overtake him. It's too much. Because he feels this strong arousal when he senses attraction, it really stops him from being himself. The arousal is too much. And from that place, he's never able to connect with girls in the way that he would like. And then he goes on to believe that he's just not capable of having healthy relationships or even attracting a partner into his life, because the arousal is just overwhelming. He doesn't know it's the arousal, but that's what's causing his dysfunction in this place. Like I said, most guys feel this arousal when they see someone they're attracted to, but sensitive people, it's amplified a lot more. And we need to learn to handle this before we can really start to use this gift of sensitivity as a tool. So now I want to share with you how this is a gift. It's mainly a gift in relationship. So let me share with you a story. I used to be part of the pickup community, which is just a big movement of men who go out and talk to women, and it helps them develop confidence, self-esteem, and just become a better version of themselves. There's a big, massive movement of guys who do this. And for all guys, sensitive or not, it can be a very frightening experience, very anxiety provoking. For the sensitive guy, again, amplify that by 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So I did this for about 2 years, and one thing I learned was that generally I would have better interactions with these women and girls than the guys I was with would. These guys would usually tend to be a little bit robotic, mechanical, and a bit cold, and were not really able to read the emotional signals and messages the girl was giving. But my sensitivity allowed me to receive these messages, and because of that I was able to respond to her accordingly in a way that would often lead to good interactions, better interactions than what I see most guys having, because most guys do not have that capacity to really feel the meaning behind what girls are saying. Girls speak in emotions and feelings. They're just not as logical as guys, but us sensitive guys have that capacity. Okay, now it's important to acknowledge that I'm not saying you are there now if you are a sensitive guy, because there's a good chance you may have self-esteem issues. But if you're able to develop a healthier sense of self, which I'm going to make another video about, you will be more grounded in who you are as a man, as a masculine man, as a strong masculine man. And from that place, you will be able to read the signals and emotional messages girls send you, and you will be able to respond accordingly as a strong man. And from that place, you can take it wherever you want. Now, I'm not saying every girl wants a guy who can emotionally connect to them, but most women do. And the sooner you can start to see your sensitivity as a gift, which can not only help you have better intimate relationships, but also relationships in all areas of your life, will you start to really see how it serves you, and it will actually begin to help you manifest better relationships. So, like anything, life is about perspective. How you choose to see something really determines what you get out of it. So you can choose to see your sensitivity as something you hate, something that makes your life shit, something that you just want rid of. Or you can choose to accept it and see how it can help you live a better life. For most of my life I rejected it. Only through acceptance am I starting to find the gifts that are inherent in it. And it has many other benefits in various other areas of my life. It makes me more creative. It helps me appreciate music, art, design. And sometimes I feel like I have a sixth sense almost. And this is really what it is. So I hope you guys, if you are a sensitive guy, can really start to see this as a gift. And as you begin to accept it, things will gradually start to change in this regard. So that's everything that I have to speak about on this subject. If you want to add anything, please feel free to hit me up in the comments below. If you like the video, please go ahead, give it a thumbs up, share it with your homies if you think it can help them out, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Otherwise, remember to live free and be free. Thank you.